Now if these one-click fixes in the organizer are not for you, then you can edit your photos in any of the 3 editor workspaces. Now let's start by just selecting these pictures. So I'm going to click on the first one, and I'm going to hold the shift key down and click on the second one, and I'm going to go down to the bottom taskbar and I'm going to click on the editor button, and that's going to launch me into the editor workspace. And here you can see that we've got the 3 workspaces: the quick, the guided and the expert. We're going to be looking at the quick edit workspace. Now let's have a look round. If we go down to the bottom here, we can see something called the photo bin. Now it's not really the best name for it because it isn't really a bin, not in our sense anyway. It's not something where you like a recycle bin where you throw things away. All this is somewhere that shows you the images which are available for use in the editor, and here we've got 2. And if I double click on one, you can see it comes available for editing. If I double click on the other one, that one comes available for editing as well. Now below this is the taskbar, and here we've got some buttons. We've got the photo bin, we've got the tool options, we've got the undo and redo button, we've got the rotate, and we've got a button that will take us back to the organizer. On the left hand side here we've got the toolbar. We've got some tools in it. Now if I click on one of the tools, like the crop tool, you can see that the photo bin is replaced by the tool options. Each tool has different options, so if I click on another tool, like the zoom tool, we've now got the zoom options. Now I can toggle back and forwards between the photo bin and the tool options by clicking on these 2 buttons at the bottom on the taskbar. Right, if we go up to the top here, we've got some view options. And here we're set just for looking at the after image. If I click on this, I can just look at the before image, or I can look at the before and the after image horizontally, or I can look at before and after vertically. I'll just set it back to after only for the minute. Come across this side, we've got a zoom slider, and I can zoom in if I want to do some close-up work. And then down at the bottom here, we've got 4 icons. And this is what is displayed in this panel at the right hand side. At the moment we've got the adjustments. If I click on this one, it'll show me some one-click effects I can add to images. I've got some textures that we can use, and we've got some frames. Okay, I'm going to go back to adjustments. Now just a point, if you just decided you wanted a little bit more room after you'd added some adjustments to be able to view your image, if you click again on the adjustments button, the adjustments panel closes. And if I want to bring it back, click on it again to bring it back. Now over here on the right hand side, we've got the heart of what's going on now, our adjustments panel. And here we can see we've got adjustments of smart fix, exposure levels, and so on. To open a panel, just click on its name and it opens it up. And to close it, we can click to close it. Now if we have a look, we'll just take SmartFix as an example. Now all these adjustments have one or more of these methods of adding an adjustment. Now the first one we'll have a look at is the slider. Simple here, I click and I drag and it adds more or it adds less amount of the designated adjustment, in this case SmartFix. I'll just set that back to 0. And on some of the adjustments, you'll see down at the bottom of the little adjustment, I've got an auto button. And this is Element's best guess at what it thinks would be an amount of SmartFix. So I'm going to click on the auto button and it adds what it thinks is the correct amount of SmartFix. Now what happens if I want to undo that? Well, I can go down to the undo button on the taskbar. And if you hover over it, you'll see it'll tell me it will undo that last fix. So if I click on it, that's going to take me back to the original image. Now what happens if I've applied several different adjustments? Well, let's try that. We'll try a little bit of SmartFix and we'll add a little bit of exposure and let's go for a little bit of colour. I'll boost the saturation of the colour. There we go. Now if I wanted to get rid of all these and get back to the original photograph, all I need to do is to go up to the top of the adjustments panel here and click the reset button. And that takes me right back to the original image as I brought it in. Now let's go back to SmartFix just to have a look at the third method of applying as adjustments. And it's these thumbnails here. Now you can see as I hover over a thumbnail, it adds or takes away a little bit of the adjustment, in this case the SmartFix. And what I can do is I can eyeball the image, I can click where I think it's right, and if I need to I can just adjust it a little bit with the slider. And when I think it's okay, I can go on over to my view menu, I can view before and after and see the before view and the after view after I've added my adjustment. Okay, if I'm happy with that adjustment, it's time to save it. And I'm going to do that by going up to the file menu and going to save as. I'm going to be saving it back into the same folder, which is fine. You'll see that in the file name it's actually added edited-1, so it won't overwrite any original files I've got. I do want to include it in the elements organizer, so I may want to make sure there's a tick in here. And I'd like to save it in a version set with the original so it keeps it together. Other than that, everything looks hokey-cokey, and I'm going to click save. And then I'm going to click OK for the JPEG options. Now if I'm finished with these images now in this session of editing, I can close down these images by going up and clicking the little X in the corner. And I can click that one to close that one down. And that brings me back to the organizer. Now here we can see that we've got the image that I've edited and it's in a version set. And I can tell that it's a version set because it's got this little symbol here. And I can tell that it's the edited version because it's got this little paintbrush icon in the top of it. And if I click on this little triangle here, you can see now the version set. So I've got my original file here, which is overview 1, and I've got my edited file, which is overview1_edited1, all nicely packaged up in a version set, which then I can close that up to tidy up my organizer. So that's an overview of the Quick Edit Workspace. In the videos to come, we'll be working in the Quick Edit Workspace in a little bit more detail. I'll see you then.